you want to focus on your health, because by being healthy, it allows you to enjoy your wealth, right? You don't want to just become wealthy and then, but you're not feeling good and you're not keeping well, because like Dan said, eh, what's the point, right? Like, how are you going to enjoy your wealth? How are you going to enjoy it with who you want to enjoy it with if you're not able to take care of yourself? A healthy person has 1,000 wishes, but a sick person only has one.
That is such a powerful statement, Taran. Hi, my name's Dan. I'm here with my colleague Taran, and today we're going to pick on an interesting topic. And that topic is don't just think about being wealthy, be healthy too. So that's a huge thing that we wanted to share with you today because there's a lot of reasons why your health is going to matter. And what Taran and I have done today is we put together about 5 things that you could do to change your health. And then we'll get into more of why it matters. Why does that matter? So with that, Tran, why don't we just start by going through that list of 5 items that we found, and you, I believe, use them in your life just to make a
Mhm.
difference for you and your health.
These 5 steps that I'm going to reveal, this is stuff that I have practiced and implemented in my own life, and it has worked for me. And I know there are professionals that use this as well. So here are the 5, and this is in no particular order because I believe they are all equally important. Okay. So the first one is getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. And this is a big thing in today's world. People think that, you got to work, 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 and forget sleep. We sleep when we are no longer on this planet, right? But 7 to 8 hours sleep helps rejuvenate your mind. It recharges your batteries and it helps you push harder the next day. Number 2, drinking lots of water. Okay. And so I try to drink about 2 liters of water, but that's due to my own body weight and my height. Now, for you, depending on your body weight and height, you may need a little more, you may need a little less. Okay. But always try to listen to your body. Your body sometimes will indicate to you that it's thirsty, but you're thinking it's hunger, but really you're thirsty and you just need to give it some water. Okay. Number 3, relaxing the mind. Now, when we get into work mode, we tend to, like I said, with point number 1, we go, 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 and we never stop. It's good to give the mind a break. It's good to take breaks as you're working. Okay. And these breaks will help relax the mind. And these breaks can be anything that is fun for you. Okay. Some people like meditating. I do that sometimes. That's cool. Some people practice a hobby, right? Could be dance, could be a sport, and others spend time with family, and that's relaxing to them, right? So whatever it is that works for you in terms of relaxing the mind and giving you that brain break. Okay. Number 4, eating whole foods. Okay. So not the processed foods, not the chips and the cookies, but whole foods. So things that come out of the earth. An apple would be a whole food, right? Something that is created by whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's the almighty or the universe, right? If it's created naturally, that would be considered a whole food. Okay. So it's good to consume whole foods as much as you can. All right. Number 5, daily physical activities. Now, I'm not saying you need to go to hit up the gym every single day, an hour, 2 hours. No, movement is what I'm talking about. It could be a 10 to 15-minute walk in your neighborhood. Okay.
Yep.
This helps you just move your body. It gives you fresh air, gives you some sunlight, right?
Yep.
So something as simple as that will be helpful to you on a daily basis. Just daily movements, 10 to 15 minutes a day is very helpful.
All those elements matter. Like if you don't get enough sleep, whether you know it or not, your body's healing itself while you're sleeping. And, so there's wear and tear as we go through the day. It needs that time. And I don't know if you've ever experienced it, Taran, but I've used the tools that can, gauge how well you're sleeping and when you're actually getting a good sleep or not. And you can feel it. Like you can, you'll be told you had a good amount of sleep and you had the right type of sleep,
Mhm.
and you'll actually feel it. Like, so we know, I think, when we wake up in the morning, whether we feel refreshed or if we don't. And that's a good indicator. And then as you were going through your list, I just thought of all those elements which are so factual. And it's like, my oldest daughter is a dietitian nutritionist, and she works with the highest level of athletes we have in this country. So they compete in the Olympics. And when you think about, how focused those people are become on all these elements, like it's not just, workouts. It's about eating properly. It's about sleeping. It's about preparing themselves, that mindset. That's a huge one for all of us. Like the mind is such a powerful thing. And if it's not settled in whatever technique, and I liked how you mentioned that, Taran, it's what works for you. Figure that out and use that to be able to, get your mind to the place it needs to be. Because all of us are different and we have different thoughts around how to do that and what works for us. And, that is huge. And as you were speaking there, I just thought about an article well, not an article, but a book I was reading lately, and it's by Caleb Gwillams, and he talks about something I thought would be worthwhile just to add today, Tran, to our conversation. It's he put this right at the start of his book in his introduction, and his book's called The And Asset. And I just love one of the comments he puts early in his book, and he says, the value of your life is not found in a hefty bank account or in being financial free. There's more to life. It's imperative that you find your why. And, so as we think about health versus wealth, I go, so what are we here for? Like, what are we really on earth for? And for me, when I get asked that question, I go, well, for me, it's to serve others. And, and if I'm not healthy, how can I do that? I lose that opportunity. And, when you started off today with that comment, Taran, about, a healthy person has 1,000 wishes and a sick person only has one. That is such a profound statement because it's so true. We can all just think about that, picture that in our mind, and we know that's factual. Before we started this video today, Taran, we were talking about what does it mean to be wealthy? And for different people, that has a different meaning.
Yep.
And, so what is wealth? And I like it when I think about it, it's just so that I have peace about how things are going financially in my life. And that goes back to your comment about mindset, like how you're feeling and stressed. And, and it reminds me of this recent quote that I seen that, not a quote, but article that the Angus Reid study that was done that revealed that nearly 1/3 of Canadians, that's right, Canadians, feel very stressed about money on a regular basis. If you're feeling stressed about money, what's that do to your health? Just a huge factor, because then you're not getting the sleep, you're not getting that peace, that you need to be able to allow your body to rebuild and heal itself. And, I think as I listened to you going through that list, there's just so many thoughts that came to mind. Eating whole food, my daughter would love that comment because it's just like, yeah, she'll tell me, Dad, yeah, it's all right if you have the odd treat. Just don't take that right out of your diet. She tells you, don't take that stuff out of your diet. Just make sure your foundation is based around really good foods, and still have the odd ice cream and all those things that go to make life, enjoyable. And I think a good way to put it is just moderation when it comes to those things, and keep your foundation where it needs to be. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you and we both help people with a very specific, concept. It's just a process that we teach people. And and you can just watch this on our YouTube channel. If you, I'm just going to encourage you now, if you have an opportunity to watch another video, we practice this concept. It's called, the infinite banking concept, but it's really about, privatized banking at the you and me level. And we just use a very specific structure of dividend paying whole life insurance as a platform. Now, if you don't know about that and how that works and how that can help reduce your, stress level when it comes to things financial, we're going to encourage you to just go to, and you'll find the link below, watchibc.com. That's right, watchibc.com. And it's just a 90-minute video. And hey, it's going to, for me, it changed my life. When I found out about this concept, changed my whole life. You got that same opportunity. And now when I think about things financially and I think about, well, how am I going to make it through when I get to that stage where I'm not working no longer? Well, I have peace about that. It's not something I'm losing sleep over.
Like Dan was saying, you want to focus on your health, because by being healthy, it allows you to enjoy your wealth, right? You don't want to just become wealthy and then, but you're not feeling good and you're not keeping wealth, because like Dan said, eh, what's the point, right? Like, how are you going to enjoy your wealth? How are you going to enjoy it with who you want to enjoy it with if you're not able to take care of yourself, right? So that's what I would say to that. If you're looking after your wealth, great. Look after your health too.
I thought about different times, throughout my life when I started different regimes, if you want to call it that, but just a way to get myself into moving more, different things I found. Well, one of the things that worked really good for me was taking tennis lessons, because I know works better for Dan when he's participating in something with other people. It keeps me moving. I enjoy it much
Mhm.
more. It's like when I stood on the old treadmill and run away there for 35 minutes or whatever, that's, to me, I don't get much energy out of that. But I can play tennis for 3 hours and it's just like, whew, it's
Nice.
gone. It's like that time just went by and it's just like, whew, you feel drained, you're physically beat, and yet you come away from that with ticking off a multitude of those boxes and those 5 things that you talked about, Taran. Like you get to move, you get that, that mind, your mind's gone to a good place. You've been able, I find it just like takes you away from everything else, the busyness of life, and you get to
Hmm.
focus on playing this game and socializing with others.
Hmm.
And it's all those elements. So when it comes to coaching people about how do you get there, well, I think we all need to, find out what works and what doesn't work for us. I think when we're thinking about and talking about the wishes that, people have, those 1,000 wishes when we're healthy, those are the things we have to do to help, because we can't, there's no guarantees in life when it comes to health. And people get sick, no fault of their own. But you can take steps in life to reduce the probability that that's going to happen to you. And that's what we're talking about today, because, all things being equal, science being what it is, there still isn't a solution to everything that comes at people. And I understand that. And, so what we're asking you to do is really, think about how you can make a difference and start with just one step. That's what I found worked for me, and I hope you find that useful.